All right, listen, and no one's asked me this question, but if I were you, I would want to know, and I would ask this question. So the question is what support did you give to the client that had to cancel? Or my recommendation is to cancel. She hasn't made up her mind yet. What support did you give her before having to be in this position? And to me, that's a really good question. So let's get into it. The first thing I did was we analyzed her audience back in like August when she decided to come out from her hiatus on social media. And we were like, okay, this is how I suggest you move forward. We need to start posting again regularly on both the business Instagram and your Instagram. And we need to like hard launch this thing out into the world and see what kind of response we get. First thing we did. So we did a little testing, right? The second thing we did right around October, we weren't getting a whole lot of bites. This was right around the time she wanted to run ads. What we did then was I went to Reddit and I typed in her niche. I said common questions on blah, 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 blah. And I literally gave her a list of things that people are complaining about in her niche for her to take on Instagram Live, for her to go and talk about it, post reels about controversial topics to get eyeballs on her page, on her feed. I suggested also her not posting about the retreat every single post, but like one educational piece, one like controversial piece, then the retreat. Like switching up the content, going between carousels and reels, and just like trying to engage and grab new eyeballs with new material, not just a retreat. The third thing, so on top of ads, she also discounted her rates, neither of which I recommended. But the fact that neither of them, I think one person bought the discounted rate. That was kind of concerning. So we started to get concerned around December when 3 people had joined or 2 people had joined or something like that. And there wasn't a lot of people interested, or like people were giving her the runaround. And so I suggested running an email campaign. We looked at her social media. She was not posting how I suggested her post. She was not going live. She was not educating her content. She was not emailing regularly. And I was like, okay, girl, we have got to like tighten it up. We've got to like work hard for this. Okay. We've got to get eyeballs. We've got to give people a reason to think that they can get a return on investment. And that didn't happen. So around the end of December, like 27th, 28th, we had one of our last meetings, and I was just like, listen, we have until January 31st to make a decision. We had signed a contract. We delayed paying deposit as long as we can. Still haven't paid deposit, but like we've delayed as long as we can. It's time to make a decision January 31st. So in between when we talked in January 31st, one person had to pull out or ask for a refund because it's over. They had a family thing that they chose to go to. So now we went from 3 to 2, and I was like, okay, girl, we literally you got an extra week. That's it. We got to make a decision. And so that's when I made the recommendation yesterday to go ahead and cancel. She's not getting engagement. People are not sliding into her DMs asking to join. People are not looking at the page. Like it is what it is. All the tricks I knew what to do and how to build community, either she wasn't doing or it wasn't working. And I don't think it can't ever work, but I think practicing discernment and figuring out like where you truly are in business before hosting a retreat is really important. And then the second thing is, what are you willing to do to make sure this sells out? I literally asked this question in August. What are you willing to do to make sure this sells out? Are you willing to post? Yes. So let's ease back into posting, but we need to get up to regular daily posts. We need to get you in front. And so she's not been doing that. So here we are. It sucks. I don't want this.